Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine, episode 11. I'm Tammy.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And if this is your first time seeing us, welcome. We're glad to have you.
And all existing subscribers and all you folks coming back, you're absolutely welcome as well. Thank you for watching and all the things.
Yeah.
We'd also like to start off by asking if you're watching, if you could give us a thumbs up if you like our content, or if you haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe, because it really does help the channel.
Yeah.
That would be fabulous. Mm-hmm. But you're here about knitting, so let's get into that.
Yeah.
So, how are we going to do this today?
Do you want to do the what we're wearing? We could go opposite. You want to go first, Janet?
Sure.
I pulled the fast one on.
I'm wearing the Bobaloop sweater by Kay Hopkins. Get up here so you can see.
Oh my.
That is so gorgeous.
I love the contrasting yarn too.
I made this last year, a year ago or so, and love it. And the yarns I used were the Knit Picks Capra DK. Magnolia Heather is for the body of the sweater itself. And then I did the little enhancements on the sleeves and the neckline, and I used the Yarn Collective Rivoli Sport. And colorway of this, I don't know if it's really, let me look again real quick. Yeah, that shows up pretty good. Okay. This one just didn't show up, but I think it's
Does
just
that have a
this.
color?
Yeah. Okay, so color.
It's the text on it is so
Good
lightweight.
grief, I can't even read
I'm
it.
gonna say it's something plum.
Right? It's
Yeah.
definitely a plum color.
I think here it is right here. It's super light, right at the very top. It is. It's called Henry Plum,
Oh, Henry Plum.
number
Yes.
503. It's gosh, it blends right
I know, I
in.
can't even see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The grief.
I should have given you my glasses.
Yeah, so the Capra DK2 is Knit Picks is also a 85% merino and 15% cashmere. So it's just such a beautifully soft. I love working with this yarn, and then obviously the Yarn Collective is a lovely yarn to work with too. So
So did you say that that's sport?
I would.
The Henry Plum is sport weight.
yes.
Well, you can't tell.
So it's a sport, and then this is the rest of the sweater is a DK. But yeah, you can't even tell.
can't.
it must be a really plump sport because even here it looks clearly as thick.
So
pretty.
I love it.
Gorgeous.
It's one of my favorite sweaters. I'd highly recommend it.
And she loves Kay Hopkins.
Yes.
She designs some amazing things.
So I get her newsletter, and every time she has a sale on her sweaters, I end up buying several. So I have lots of patterns still to make. So you'll be seeing more of Kay Hopkins.
Of course. So do you want to go next?
Sure. I am wearing the Susurrus by Hobbii Locatelli. And it's a has a beautiful lace pattern, and then intertwined is a mohair. And the colors I used, this is Manos de Uruguay Fino in the colorway Dragon.
I love that. I'm just feeling you. I wasn't trying to get you to sit down.
No, that's okay. I probably should have sat
I
down
was
anyway.
petting you.
You just pet away, girl. And
It's so soft.
it is really soft. I love this. Manos de Uruguay is really soft, super
Yeah.
soft. And of course, then you've got the
Mohair.
which is the Debbie Bliss Angel in the colorway Mint. Yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
And I do love this sweater.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of elegant, but yet you can dress it up or dress it down. And the one thing I would say is the armpits are a little
The
deep.
yoke depth,
Yeah, they're a little bit deeper than I would like to have had them. So if you decide to make it, you might want to check where it is that you're comfortable and take that into consideration when doing your sleeves. Yeah.
Although with mohair, I don't know if you'd want that up in your pits anyway.
No,
would you?
I don't
mean,
think-
we've both knit that as well, and I think ours are also a little
See, my
deep
pits,
and
my pits
Yeah, a
here,
little
so
bit.
there's
Yeah.
this much, and it doesn't really bother me because most of the time you have your arms down anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really bother me. But if it's one of those things that bothers you, you may think about that.
right. I don't even know what you would do. I mean, I guess there's not much you could do other than stop it sooner. But because of where that is, I guess you'd be ending in the middle of the lace
Yeah.
pattern. So I don't remember if different sizes had different amount of rows between.
I think
I can't-
so, but I don't remember.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I knit mine when Hobbii was doing her knit along.
Oh.
And I think you guys knit yours way before that, and I'd actually started mine way before that, but
Yeah.
it was there was something about it, it
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
fit me
remember.
right, and I frogged it.
Yeah.
I wasn't loving it. I think I had it way past the arm or sleeve separation, and I ripped it back, and then I knitted mine with hers, but still that's been... Gosh, I bet you probably did yours
About the same time, 2 years ago,
or
I'm
so.
sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a while.
considering
Quite a while.
we're going
Well,
on
it
our
was
4th
pretty-
anniversary.
Yes, been knitting for 4 years.
I know.
almost.
In
March.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were talking to Melissa the other day through text, and that's one of the girlfriends who we talked into knitting with us. And she said something about it being her 1 year anniversary. She had organized her yarn cabinet because she's got a stash now. And she ran across a receipt from her first purchase of yarn. And she's like, remember, it was a year, like next week, because I was waiting on my yarn before I could start my project. And she goes, and this is when it was.
Yeah.
So then I scrolled back because I'm really good at making calendar entries, and I looked back to see when Claudia came over and started knitting with me, and I had Claudia knitting on a Tuesday,
March 12th.
and then 2 weeks later, Janet came with her, and that was her first time coming, and that was the beginning of our little knitting circle.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's been
love
a lot
that.
of fun.
It has been fun.
It
yeah.
has. I mean, look at all the fabulous clothes we have.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and then we
Oh.
did those Zooms there for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
I felt so bad because you guys were only, you weren't quite a year.
Right.
Yeah.
It was, well, maybe it was almost exactly a year from when
Yeah.
the world shut
Yeah.
down from your
Yeah.
very first time. And you still had so much yet to learn. And I was worried. And you guys are rock stars. You made your knitting mama so proud.
Yeah, had to go out to YouTube because I was not comfortable. I was almost like, Tammi, help me!
Yeah, oh gosh.
Oh
okay.
yeah, that was fun.
It is. Okay, so I'm sorry.
We digress.
Are you finished
I'm
with your
finished. Unless you guys have any questions.
Nope, I remember it well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wearing the CozyX by Hinterm Stein. And I love this sweater so much. So it has some really fun detail. I don't know if you can see the X that comes down the side and then the split hem. I can hold it up since I have a t-shirt on underneath or a little tank. I do that because, gosh, even though this is DK weight, so it's fingering with mohair, I'm not
can still see
comfortable.
through
Yeah,
it.
you can still, I mean, it's white, right? And anyway, love the split hem. The back is a wee bit longer. Love the detail on the sleeve. And I just knit this in Knit Picks Bare Superwash yarn. And I've laughed and called this a mystery yarn, the white, because I've got 3 different white yarns that were skeined up, and somehow the labels got pulled out of them, and they were all 3 just sitting side by side in my yarn cabinet. So I'm not really sure. It could be bits and pieces of it in a different yarn. But anyway, I do know that Drops Kid Silk in color 01 white is the mohair that I held with it. And I love it. I consider it kind of a dressy sweater. It's really warm. I have other things that come up this high and they don't bother me. And it's got short rows in the back, but for some reason, this one, it just, it gets me. And I don't know if it's the Drops Kid Silk that I have an issue with or what, but man, I get warm on my neck in a big fat hurry.
Does that come up higher than you normally would have it?
It
Maybe
comes up
that's-
higher than almost all of them, except I've got like the, let me think here, Boyland Knitworks, the yellow, the golden color one with the green on it, the color work with the texture all over and color work here. That's got kind of a high neck. The,
Yeah, is it one I made too?
no, you
Okay.
didn't make this one. Koivua.
Oh.
That one has a high neck, and that's worsted weight, where this is just DK weight, but there's no mohair in it. And I think that that woolen spun yarn is just so fluffy and light and airy that it doesn't get me like this does. But anyway, I'm wearing it. We have a wine dinner that we're going to tonight because hello, woolen wine. So that'll be fun. So I did want to say I made the size 3 in this. I have, I typically make sweaters with a 40-inch bust, and I can't remember if it's a size 3 or they call it a size medium. I've got size 3 written down, and it was around 815 yards of each of these, as long as it is. So I don't know what the pattern called for. I did this exactly to pattern, and the only thing I can think that I may have done different is I do the bracelet length sleeves most of the time, just because that's my preference. But anyway, so do we have finished objects? I think you don't.
I do not.
But I think you do, and I do. So, you want to go?
Yes.
You do one, I do one, you do one, I do one, you do one.
All right, sounds great. Well, the first one, which I'm so glad to reveal, is the Fairy Bouquet by Joanna Ang. There it is.
That is just gorgeous.
Oh, Janet.
Man,
Here's
oh man.
Girl,
Sleeves.
you have outdone yourself. Look at that beauty.
Just love the sweater, the fit and everything. So on this one, okay, so on this I did I think it was the small size. It was a 43 3/4. And it's not quite 43, so I was a little bit off gauge, but I mean it fits absolutely perfect on me. And I just highly recommend this pattern for sure. It was a little work on the sleeves, like you just don't rush through the sleeves, but
Yeah.
well worth it.
Gosh, you weren't on Sleeve Island, though, because that keeps you interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
That's beautiful.
look
Just
at
gorgeous.
the sleeve on that.
I
Yeah.
know. And then there's stuff down the side too.
What's-
Right,
oh,
it's
you
got
have
some
that little
cables. Oh yeah, I
cable.
forgot to show
Yeah.
this. So there's this beautiful cable work down the side here.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So
That
really
is beautiful.
so pretty.
All right, I need to
I'm
add
so
that
happy
to the
with
list.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that one.
Yeah.
The yarns I used for this was a superwash merino chainette in cream color by Sheepish Creations. And the Nitpicks Aloft lace weight mohair, silk mohair in white. And it just, the fabric on this is just fabulous.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it felt good
mean-
when you were knitting it, but since this thing has been
Man.
blocked, oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
the softest thing ever.
It's just really soft,
Oh.
and it's, you know, it's a worsted weight.
I love this.
But you know, once you add the mohair, but oh my gosh, I'm
This kind of reminds me of some kind of an
Just-
Irish,
Yeah, like Celtic knots or
Celtic
yeah.
something or other. Yeah,
It does.
it's
yeah.
beautiful though. Absolutely
And so
stunning.
that was a chainette
uh-huh.
yarn.
Yes.
Did you have any
Chainette.
left, or did you use
Yes,
every bit?
I have some left. Actually, I got a little ball here for something else I'm going to be working on, just to give you an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
wow. I mean,
It's on
is-
Etsy. It's on Etsy.
Oh, is it?
The Sheepish Creations, yes.
Oh really?
So didn't we run
So-
into her though at a fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the Mid-Ohio Fiber Fair.
Oh, that's the one that we
And-
drove 2 hours and 45 minutes or something to get to.
Yeah.
I say we, you were driving.
Yeah. And, but, oh, her yarns are so beautiful. I mean, this is our love. So,
And that was actually in that clearance bin. She had
Yeah.
that big, remember that basket that we
Yeah.
were digging through?
Yeah.
Oh,
so when I did the 4-inch hem on this, I really felt it needed to have a nice long hem
Yeah.
because it just looks so good with,
it anchors
All
all
the-
the rest of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
does
balances
very
it
much.
out. Yeah.
yeah.
And now the sleeves look a little like a bloomed sleeve, a little bit.
Yeah, that was a rapid decrease for sure.
Yeah, that's
You
really
do the
nice.
rapid decrease at the end, yes, after your lace is done. So,
Wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is, congratulations.
thank you.
That is quite, that's a spectacular one. Yeah, that's
yeah,
one
it
that
really
you really,
is. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
And it's so
Yeah.
feminine and classy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You need just some
Just-
black leather pants to wear with that one. No, I'm Okie dokie. So I have another epic finish as well.
Wow.
This is the drawing sweater by Tomomi Yashimoto. And you guys, it's done as of this
my
morning.
Gosh. So it
Wow.
hasn't been blocked?
It has not. Well, part of it has. So
Oh, wow.
here it is. So the top part and the body has all been blocked all the way down to the gorgeous hem.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And I blocked it before I added the sleeves. And so this has, you know what? I blocked halfway down this sleeve, I think. So even this part of the sleeve has been blocked. And you can see how even the color work is. So this is, I highly recommend the pattern to an experienced knitter. You do all these short rows back and forth. So you can see how high the back is compared to the front. And all of that is short rows. So all of this part that you can see on the back is color work that you're doing on the wrong side, in addition to the short rows and the increases at different intervals on both the front side and the back side. But as I said before, once you get through that, it is smooth sailing and it is pretty easy color work. And I talked about the jacquard.
Oh, where you catch your floats.
Yes,
what do they call
jacquard. Crap, I can't think of it.
Jacquard something.
Yeah, so color work jacquard. Anyway, I didn't do that on here. I didn't feel like I needed to. But once I got I often do the sleeves 2 at a time, but because of the color work, I didn't. And because I did this on a size 7 needle, and I did the color work and the plain knitting on a size 7 needle, I don't need to go up a needle size for color work. I'm able to really pull it apart and keep it pretty even. But to get the sleeves the same, after I did the decreases, I went back, took the pins out, and I put these light bulb stitch markers every 10 rows so I knew exactly where to stop the second sleeve. Because I have screwed that up before. So these are, when I block these, I'm going to block them out so that they're not cinched in. So I did that also on a size 7. It recommended in the pattern to make them long sleeved and to go down 2 needle sizes, I think. But I chose not to do that. I mean, it cinches. I knit the ribbing pretty tight. It's the way I wrap it. It's just nice and snug, so I never have to go down a needle size for ribbing. But anyway, I will take care of that. I love it.
So gorgeous.
Hopefully,
beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So I knit this in, I don't know if I'm looking to see. It's the Good Wool by Purl Soho. And the light color is called Winter Grass and the dark color is called Hickory Nut. And I held that, maybe I have my bag. I do. So I'll show you really quick. I don't have a skein that's unskeined, but I can just show you the 2 things that I held together real quick. So this is the Hickory Nut, and I held that together with Hobbii lace. It's the alpaca lace weight, and that color is taupe. And then same thing here, winter grass, and this color is ecru. And so together, these made the perfect weight for the color work to not show through. I tried first swatching just with the Good Wool, and I felt that it wasn't quite enough. It needed just that tiny bit more, and it makes it so incredibly soft and silky as well. So I did the size medium in that, and I was spot on gauge. So there we have it.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy that it's one of those epic finishes that I'm really happy to have it done, because this is the time of year that we'll be wearing it. And it dried. When I washed it, blocked it, I laid it on the blocking mats and pinned the bottom hem out. And it was dry overnight with the ceiling fan on.
Nice.
In the guest bedroom. So that's up on the bed. I lay my blocking mats on the bed just to get it closer to the fan.
Yeah.
Well, that way I'm not crawling around on the floor blocking and stuff. But I didn't have to do anything other than just lay it down and tap my hands over it, and it smoothed out just that much.
That was the one where you showed me 4 charts.
Yeah.
So you had to go from one chart to the next chart to the next chart.
Yeah. So the front is a chart, the back is a chart, and the left sleeve is one chart, the right sleeve is another.
Wow.
And they're not the sleeves are not the same. So she called it the drawing sweater because Tomomi Yashimoto actually drew this out first and then charted it in Excel.
Wow.
And if anybody bought the pattern a while back and you're going to be doing this, you might want to download it again with the updates, because a lot of people said that it was really difficult, and it was, to read the little blocks on the chart, because she did the grid lines between them so light that you almost had to look above and below and count other places to see how many stitches across you were doing. So it was a real challenge. And I just kept them stacked in the right order, though, and I used a dark sheet of paper to block everything above, that I had not yet knit, to keep it lined up. And I also started putting a mark on the left and right side of the row as I knit it, because it was not only difficult to see counting across, but it was difficult to even tell on the line that you were on. But I looked at her new, the new updated pattern, and it is crystal clear now. So highly recommend downloading the new version if you haven't.
Oh man,
So,
I have to add that to my list too.
yeah, it's definitely a brain twister there for about a day and a half of just getting that top part done. But I recommend it, even though I say that, it's so fulfilling to get it done.
I bet.
And be
Oh
able
my
to wear
gosh,
it.
yeah, I
So,
believe it. Yeah, totally. get
I'm
it.
going to take that yarn, that beige yarn, with me and try to find a pair of like winter white pants that are close to that color,
that would be
because I think that
nice.
would really go well.
Yeah.
I may just cut a couple of pieces of even the brown off, because a brown pinstripe with that cream would be really nice too.
Oh my, yes,
I just,
for sure.
we'll figure it out.
I'm gonna stop this.
Janet, you have another finish.
I do. Long time coming. Been working on this for a long time. It's the Scottish Highland Shawl by Kay Hopkins.
I can't wait. We haven't seen it.
I
finished.
know. I can't wait to see it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that lace is gorgeous.
There it is.
Janet.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
God, I love that lace.
So I've had it on. Actually took a picture, so maybe we can
Insert that picture
insert the
too.
picture of me actually wearing it. But I am so happy with it.
I can understand why. That is just stunning. I love the lace. That's something else.
Oh, wowza. She's a genius.
So pretty. So I used the yarns, and here was the gloss, Knit Picks gloss fingering, and the colors Robot
That's something.
and Captain.
Beautiful.
And this is 70% merino and 30% silk.
Wow.
So
It's so drapey. It is
Yeah,
just
very
Oh my
drapey.
goodness.
and just it's really pretty when you have it on, and all that gorgeous lace on the bottom shows, and then these little rings or
Yeah.
little necklaces or whatever.
Oh my goodness
So,
gracious.
Way to go. You've got some
so-
really good stuff done.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually started this in September.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but you finished so many other things in
Right,
between.
right. And I did that, the mystery knit along
Yeah, you did.
from Kay Hopkins too, where I did that wrap, the wrap for the Winter Wonderland.
Was this you
Which
worked on
was-
this in England, in all over Europe?
Yeah, in Europe, yeah.
Not England. You were in
It was in Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Italy.
literally.
Europe, England,
All
Italy.
over. All the places. You were in Italy
But yeah.
that time. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So,
I was in England. Sorry. That is so gorgeous. I love the way she had you add the bind off
Isn't that cool?
in the other
Yeah,
color.
that's really
Yeah,
nice.
and the bind off is really interesting because you end up, you do a slip and a knit, and then you bring it back, you bring the two stitches back to your left needle, and then you knit it through the back loop. And
So
it has
it's not stretchy.
it's not stretchy, but
it's exactly the right, it's not scrunched up either. It gives
Right.
it exactly the right length and width of the, oh, it's
yeah,
so
it just
good.
makes a really nice edge.
So is there some special, this looks like there's a special, like a point, but almost a point and a point here too. Like it's not just pointed. It looks like it's got something extra.
Like a scallop. Oh, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't, let's see.
And it
Can
may
you
have
guys
been
see
the way
that?
I blocked it too,
I don't
but I don't think
know.
so.
I think it has a scallop, kind of a scallop shape.
Yeah, it does.
Slightly.
Wow.
Slightly scallop.
Wowza. Here, sorry. I'm like, I just like, I saw, got a glimpse of it looking like that.
But I think this whole looks so pretty with, I had, in the picture, I was wearing the Wyeth sweater.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
a dark blue sweater. But this looked really good with it.
I bet it is.
And so it would look really good with that. I was thinking a jean jacket. Yeah, this will be great in the spring to wear with a jean jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just-
No kidding. Oh, my gosh. Or over your winter coat or
Right,
just
over
over
winter
a
coat.
sweater.
Right.
You mentioned the Wyeth. Hey, Pat, before I forget, I saw your email and I just saw it yesterday. So I will email you the Excel spreadsheet when I edit this because it's on my laptop. And I read your email on my iPad and I can't send it from there, but I got your email. We'll hook you up. Right? Okay, so I guess I have one more finish. So I did the Lumi socks by Fiber Tales. And this is my third time doing these. And so here they are. Aren't they just so cute?
They are.
I only put the flower on one leg this time, and that was because of laziness. So that's the outside of my left foot. I did do something a little different this time, and I have to tell you, I'm pretty excited about my discovery. So, first of all, I used 2 yarns together, and this first one is the Hobbii Snowstorm, 100% wool, and it's a bulky weight. So you can see how nice and thick that is. I do have the label for that. And of course it's all folded up. So here's the label. And I had 4 balls, so it takes almost 2 balls per sock. And
My stomach is over here talking.
I didn't even hear it. So out of 4 balls for the size medium, I had 28 grams left. And so each one of these, oh, I hear your belly growling now.
I do too.
Each one of these is, I think they're 50 gram balls. Why am I not? Yes, 50 grams. And there's 54 yards per. So wonderful woolly wool. And I'm telling you, this wool would be so perfect for anything that you want to felt because it's barely spun.
All of
And
these because they're so cute.
oh my gosh, and they're so
They
warm.
are.
I've got 2 pair of them, and I'll tell you what, I wear them almost every single night when I put my jammies on, or during the day with just leggings and a sweater. I'm all over those because they keep you toasty warm. So I held that. You can see the, let me hold one real close again. You can see the flecks of color in it. And that is Fibernymph Dyeworks. This is her Color Play 2 sock yarn. Lisa is an absolute amazing dyer. So here's her logo. Hello, Lisa. So this is I'm not even sure if I'd call this self-striping. It is definitely a variegated yarn. Here is the ball, and I made a short sleeve summer top out of this a couple of years ago, and of course I buy too much, and I had all that left over, and I still have a good amount left here. But I held that with the wool just to give it that extra strength, just in case, because it is all 100% wool. I imagine the bottom is going to felt, although the other ones haven't, and I've been wearing the heck out of them. So anyway, I love them, and those are the Lumi socks. And like I said, I did the size medium. I think I did the size small the first time. Is that what I told you to do?
I made the size small.
I think my first ones were small, and the medium is really taller, and I think you only cast on 4 extra stitches, if I remember right. But I used the same needle size. I can't even tell you. Was that a 10 or a 9?
10.
A 10? Yeah. So I used a 10 on that. And it's a really tight gauge. I mean, it's good and tight, but it's heel flap and gusset. And so you're basically just making a sock. So if you can make a sock, you can make this. And I could have put them on my sock blockers that you got us for Christmas, but I didn't even think of it. Anyway, love, highly recommend.
So
Again,
cute.
Really
Adorable.
lots of fun. Yep.
Way to go.
Thank you. Okay, you got one more.
I have one more. I've been busy.
I've been busy.
So on the last episode, I had just started, and I completed the latte sweater by Kadri.
Wow. That is really pretty.
Oh my goodness. I love that.
And
Wow.
this was I just loved working with this yarn. And it's Aran weight, and it's a simple knit, and it's just so fun, and it goes fast, and pretty much flew off the needles.
Well, you got that done in
So-
2 weeks with all the other stuff that you've been working on.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Wow.
I've been
That is really good.
loving this. And this is the Bahram U yarn called Dovestone Natural Aran. And it's in the cream marl color. And just love it because it's all natural. It's not dyed in any way. And it's 100% British wool from Yorkshire, England. And it has the Blueface Leicester and the Wensleydale, I don't know, Langara, and the Masham.
Oh, the long wool.
Long wool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, nothing like having some just
gosh.
all natural color dyed, or not non-dyed yarn.
Man, that is so good.
And so I made this just like the pattern, except I did make the hem 3 inches. I'm not sure if that's
If it called for
if
that.
it called for that. I don't think it did. And so I made it a little longer than what they called for in the pattern. But other than that, I mean,
That is just beautiful.
I
It is. It looks
Made
like
it
it's really
just
nice
like-
drape too.
It does.
oh yeah, and it fits just beautiful. So the gauge was perfect. I didn't. Okay, so the gauge was a 15 stitch gauge, and I went down a little bit of a needle because I think it was a 10.5, and I ended up going down to a 10. This is US size. And I didn't want to go any smaller because I didn't want it to be any looser than what it already is. But I liked the gauge, the 16 inch or the 16 stitches. So Claudia told me the little formula for So I just went up a size, and it's absolutely perfect. By going up a size, it knitted up to be a size 40, which
So you got the
was
gauge
so I
that
did
you
a large,
wanted.
and the gauge was actually perfectly in touch, or in tune with the medium size.
Yeah,
So
that is so. So what weight is your yarn?
so it's Aran.
Aran weight. Okay.
So
That is some gorgeous yarn.
yeah, love it.
Yeah, maybe I
Highly
should.
recommend this sweater as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, you know what?
And the yarn.
Today we have a bunch of like epic completions of things that we are really, really happy about. We don't, it's, sometimes you're kind of, you finish it and you're just like, nah. It's
Yeah.
like it's not quite what I was hoping for. It didn't fit quite right or something.
Yeah.
And so every time we knit something, you don't hear us do that.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
It's like I finished this and it fits nice and this is the yarn I used and then we move on. But
Yeah.
that's so it's such a simple classic design.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of reminds me of any of the petite knit, her basic sweaters.
Yeah.
Except I don't know if there's one that's Aran weight. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but this is the Cadre. Is Cadre
Right. No,
petite knit?
no,
Okay.
it's different. No, no, I'm just saying that the Cadre, that particular design of hers sort of reminds me of those others.
Okay.
That everybody's doing a lot of right now that are they're so popular because they're such classic styles
Right.
and shapes. It'd be interesting to see what that pattern looks like in a different wool altogether because
Yeah,
that
right.
two-tone natural.
I think that two-tone
is
really
just
makes
so
it
it's so good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was thinking though we could put in there in our show notes the formula that Janet
Oh,
used.
absolutely.
Yes.
Because I did a
it worked.
sweater too, and I changed the gauge, and I went to a different size, knit a different size to accommodate the gauge change, and it works out perfectly.
Yes.
I'm really happy.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll put that in there. It's just a simple ratio actually, but yeah. Took me a little while to figure out the ratio.
Yeah.
I had formulas, so I'm like, oh, come on, Claudia, you know how to do this.
Yes. Yeah. You have this. You've got it.
I've got this.
So do you have a couple of whips, obviously. You're working on one right now.
I know.
That was a good idea.
Right.
Continuing
Yes.
working on
Yeah,
that
might
while
as
we're
well.
sitting here.
It's like I'm knitting, so it's a kind of a brainless thing. But I am working on the Humulus by Isabel Kramer. And I am using two different yarns one yarn I got at the Young's Dairy Fiber Festival. And this
Oh gosh, that was a
Wow.
couple of years ago.
yeah, I know.
Couple
and
three,
this
maybe.
it's a super wash, and it's called Fables and Fairy Tales in the colorway Dark Magic. And ooh, I love this yarn. It's so pretty.
Oh yeah. It's
And
such
then
a-
I'm also using the Spin Cycle Dream State End of Summer. And I have that much left, so I'm like, well, guess I can do another sweater.
You probably could.
And those were the colors all the viewers picked.
Yeah, they pick. You guys picked
And
these colors, so
They
here we
go
are.
So absolutely gorgeous together.
Yeah, they.
I mean,
just-
isn't that? I'm in love with it. I love the colors. It fits really well, and so I did make some modifications because I was trying it on, for size, and it fit perfectly. And then there was another increase, a major increase of like 40 stitches or something.
Right, it was a big amount.
A huge amount of stitches, and I'm like, I don't want that because then it's going to be really huge. And so I didn't do that increase, and it still fits perfectly, but I got all screwed up when I had to separate my sleeves because nothing, the formulas didn't work out,
right.
so many stitches to
Did the
count so many.
numbers match the next lower size?
What I did, so I can't remember how many stitches I had, but I counted the number of stitches I had, and then I looked at the size that was closest to that, and then I added, I think, 14 stitches to come up to a small.
Oh,
Wow.
Because I was doing a size 4, which is a large, I think. And
yeah, that's odd that an Isabel Kramer pattern would have that in it. I know she's got test knitters.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if my gauge was just off. I measured it, I kept measuring it, and it seemed like it was right, but maybe I wasn't measuring correctly. But anyhow.
I have no idea.
It's-
we can look at it when you're all done and see
Yeah.
what it ends up being. But my gosh, that blue in the cake, it looks like it's a flat blue. In the sweater, it looks so beautifully tonal.
let's
I
see
hope
if
the
I can-
camera's picking that up.
I don't know.
Sure looks gorgeous. in the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, it is. And it came in 550 yards in a single skein. And so this is still my first skein.
Holy moly.
So it was a jumbo skein.
It was a
Sounds
jumbo
like.
skein.
How
And
many grams was it? Like 200?
something like that, yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm hoping to be able to finish the body with one skein because that way I don't have to weave in ends because, you know, it's not spit spliceable, but
Oh, right.
we are about that.
We do like that a lot.
Yes, we do.
So anyway, you guys picked the right color because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Good job, you.
yeah,
Gorgeous,
right? You guys
gorgeous.
did great. Yeah, and it's kind of it's now onto the knit part. So.
Yeah, just round and round.
Yeah, I'm debating on adding some of the pattern either around the sleeve or the body of the sweater itself, but I don't know. I have enough there. I could do whole new sweaters, so maybe I won't
Right,
use
yeah.
anymore.
The colors are just so good, and you're getting into all the even darker, richer, deeper colors.
Yeah.
It looks like on the outside here, so
Yep.
wow. Good job, you. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so how many do you have?
I only have one whip.
Okay, then I'll go.
Finishing up all my projects.
I know now. This is the
Been busy.
exciting part for you, because
Yes.
you get to start new ones.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm working on The Rift by Jared Flood. And I am doing this for my husband, who is incredibly knitworthy. So I'll pull enough out here. So I've been working away on the body, and I've separated, so let me get it up here. I have separated the front and back, and I am just working away on the back at this point. So it has all this beautiful detail up the side and across the chest. There are markers here that this eventually, I might be halfway or almost halfway in the sleeve separation, but this bit of texture will eventually work its way, I think, mostly over to here. And so then I'll start on the front. So when I go on Mondays and babysit a couple of my little grandbabies, they're 3 and almost 1.5, I need something that's not quite this focused. So I cast on the sleeves and decided to go ahead and start those 2 at a time. And so I have those, of course, on my favorite Chiagu needles. Again, you guys, this is a size 7. I have so many things on a size 7. So I'm doing these 2 at a time, and it's just mindless, and you know that they'll be exactly the same. So I'm just working away, plugging away on it. And I did make him the rift once before, also in the Brooklyn Tweed shelter. So this color is Stormcloud. And
Kind of looks like a storm cloud.
there's a lot of depth in there. I don't know if you can pick up, use my elbows to block the girls, but there is Tweedy bits in here of navy blue and cream, in addition to this taupey gray,
Yeah.
maybe. Love this color. I'm doing the size 47 and a half for him. It's the same size that I did before. The last one I did was charcoal or asphalt or something like that, a dark gray color, and I let him pick the color, and he is looking forward to wearing it. So I'm hoping to have this done, well, certainly by the next time we podcast in a couple of weeks, right?
Uh-huh.
We plan on doing it once before I leave for vacation. Okay, so that'll work. And that's really, it's amazing. I love it. I'm enjoying working on it. The other one fits him so well. I keep laying this one on it and, measuring things and all that just to get it exactly like the other, since it's such a perfect fit. So that's all I have with that one. What about you, Miss Janet?
Hey. So I started this on the last episode, and I'm still barely beginning on this one, but this is the Grace Notes pullover
Oh, right.
by Hobbii Locatelli.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I know. I'm excited to see how it's coming along.
So on this particular one, since it's a V-neck, you start in the back. So you work the back for 5.5 inches, and now I'm starting on the front to do the 5.5 inches on each side of the front. So here's just one side, and here's the beginning of the front here,
I was noticing
and
it
then
was like her
this is the other side of the back. So it's coming along.
That's
That is so
You
pretty.
start to get in a little bit of
I'm gonna
rhythm
be
with
jealous
it.
here pretty soon.
So the yarn I'm using is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes
That's
in Amethyst Heather. So,
That is really,
I'm loving this, but
That's so
it's
you.
just gonna, yeah, right?
Yeah.
that is so you.
So me with the
It's so purple.
beautiful purple color.
Yeah.
And that cable's
And the
looking
cable.
gorgeous in that dark color.
Yeah, it really is.
Because hers is the, well, you would have seen her pattern picture, but it's that very light color with speckles. And boy, that's going to be good to have that
This is
one
gonna be
on, as one of the
A
projects that people
definite
can look
Janet
at. Yeah.
Amethyst Heather.
Yeah.
Lovely yarn.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
That is so nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She'll have it done next time.
Well,
I doubt it.
it may not be done, but since she's got 3 things that you've been
Finished,
working
yeah.
pretty aggressively on, and those will be done, so that'll make it a lot easier to go,
Yes.
go, go.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm looking at other patterns
Of course.
also to get on the needles, because
Yeah.
can't just be working on one thing.
Of course not. Hello. I know. Have you guys met us?
No. Yes.
We are not monogamous.
Yeah, that's
Right?
for sure.
Well, with our knitting.
I'm also not one that I'm like, I got a list of things I'm going to do in 2023 either. It's like,
No.
I just don't work that way. I'm kind of a
don't
little more
either.
spontaneous,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I mean, there's things I want to make, but it's what moves me at the time.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can have a plan and I can have
Yeah.
the yarn laid out, not skeined up, but laid out and still.
Put it back and
Go.
go. I'm gonna do
Eh.
something else.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I do. I do because I was going crazy with my Ravelry queue, and I'm putting all this stuff in my queue, and it's like, yeah, I'm hitting on a couple things, but you know, otherwise, I've got some other things I'm doing too.
Right. So it's your turn. You want to show?
Sure. So of course I'm still working on my upper name by Thea Coleman.
Ooh, baby cocktails. She's got
Gotta
some
love
amazing
it.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, look at that gorgeous.
I am making progress though because
sweater.
I divided for the sleeves, and I now have the neck. This is the front, so that's a front neckline, and there you go. There you can see the pattern really well. I love this pattern, and I love this texture pattern over here, and then there's another column of cables, and I don't know, it's fabulous. I love it. The color's great, and so now I'm working on the back, and the back's just basically the same as the front, so you can see that too. But the yarn I'm using. Okay, so I think I told you about the yarn I used before, but I'll show it to you again. It's the Marisol Hooney, and the colorway is Jade, which is such a perfect color for this sweater. I mean, this is the color that she did it in.
Yeah,
the
that's
dark green, and so
Beautiful.
as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I'm like, I have yarn to go with that. So here I am, I'm making it in her color, and I couldn't be happier, really.
Wow, she designs such gorgeous patterns.
She does.
Yeah, you did a gorgeous job so far on that.
Thank you. Well, except yesterday when I sent you guys that picture, it was Sunday. I was watching football, and I'm just kind of knitting along. Next thing I know, one of the shoulders is like this. So I had to go back and rip it out.
Obviously, it's an enjoyable pattern.
Yeah, right. It was.
Yeah.
Too funny. But
That is
yeah.
hilarious. That's going to be gorgeous. You'll have that done soon. Now, is there any texture on the sleeves, or are they just
Yes.
stockinette? So
Yes, this is the sleeves are done with in this texture.
that texture on the side. Oh,
Yes.
that's going to
Wow.
be so good. Wait,
Yeah.
Man, you'll have your head around what it takes to decrease in that then.
Yeah, well.
So
yeah.
what is that a certain type of pattern that I should know about, or I mean that people are familiar with, or is that
It's
some
not
special-
called like seed stitch or
Oh, okay.
anything. It's
Okay.
It's just a 4-row repeat,
it's a
right?
4-row repeat, and there's a purl. So knit one, purl one, knit.
Except this is part of her pattern. So
Yeah, and then it changes up as you go down. So
Wow.
yeah,
That is
so
gorgeous.
yeah, I think I'm gonna try replicating that in a sweater.
in a whole sweater, yeah.
I'm even thinking the Wyeth, because it's a bottom up. I think it would work really well with that sweater. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing, just do the whole thing in that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
That would be fun. That's, yeah.
Yeah, so
And you could even do your 2x2 rib to
yeah.
make it, or I guess 1x1 matches up with that side bit, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
1x1.
that's 1x1. Yeah. Yeah,
And
she
it goes right
changes
into it.
Yeah. And then she changes it here to go into the cables.
Wow, that is, I can't wait to
Very,
see you
very well
finish that.
designed. Well, I've been working on it a lot because I want to get it finished.
Yeah, well, it's the right time of year.
Yeah.
So with all the cabling and things, does it use a lot more yarn?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how much I've used. I think I'm on my 4th skein, and I just skeined up another one. Yeah, so it does use a fair amount of yarn.
Yeah, it eats it up.
Yeah.
I know with my Grace Notes pullover, I mean, you're doing a little bit of cabling, but
That just has that one.
yeah, it's got the
Down the front
Braids,
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but when they're all cabled like that, like the Widow's Kiss.
Oh,
took
yeah.
a lot of yarn
Yeah.
when I did that one.
Yes.
It, it does. It because there's so much crossing, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier, how sometimes you'll see a designer's color when they do a sweater, and it just fall in love with the color.
Right,
And
right.
so it's like, I have to do it in that color.
And then there's other times where you don't really like the color that the designer has, but you
Yeah.
have your own ideas. Like
Yeah.
for me, for example.
You can get
Right.
creative. Yeah.
You're gonna like it in purple.
Yeah, it's gonna be purple for Janet. Or I'm gonna be green, but I do have
Yeah.
navy blue too. So
And I am all the colors.
I am too.
Yeah, I
actually.
like a lot of colors too, but I mean, I tend to gravitate towards purples, blues, and reds. All those combinations.
Alrighty, so moving on.
You're next.
Alrighty, so I am also still working on the Waffle loop sweater by Other Loops. And
Wow.
working along, get myself enough tail here so I can stand up and show you.
Oh my god.
I have just picked up stitches on the sleeve and I'm working my way down the body. So I am actually using the Cascade Yarns Eco plus Hemp. Look at this.
That is so pretty.
Oh, that color.
I love
It
that
is
color.
crazy. It's color 19 Iguana. And this too is on a size 7. Everything I've done lately. So I have had to, I'd started the sleeve, but I needed the size 7 to finish the sleeves. This is a 12-inch fixed needle, Chiagu needle. And I needed that size 7 to do my drawing sweater. And so, oh, here, are you confused about
Yeah,
how?
sorry.
So I put this on a barber cord and finished those sleeves. And so this morning I put it back on, knit a couple of rounds, and I just love this. I don't know if I showed the back detail enough. So this is where it all begins on the back. And that detail is just amazing. And the cables are on both front and back. And it's very, it's very pulled in. I am doing the size 43, so that's the size 1. And yes, it's drop shoulder, but a 43 should give me plenty. That's almost 4 inches of ease, and it really drops kind of low, and it's just so squishy and stretchy. I think it's going to be just fine. But I am loving this thing. It is not available on Ravelry. I saw it first on Instagram and had to go right out to the website and buy that. I can't say enough good about it. It is wonderful. This whole texture, just like Claudia was saying,
that would be
it's a
pretty.
4-row repeat, and she calls it the waffle texture, and that would be cool in an entire sweater, although this is just, it's a really, really good pattern. And again, it uses some of those, the left and right 2-stitch cables.
Yeah.
So I've got to get that done, you guys. I'm sorry I haven't done it yet, but I will. It's still in the plans to do a quick little tutorial for that. So anyway, we'll get you there.
So beautiful with all the cabling.
Oh my gosh, that is stunning. And I
Yeah.
love the color.
It's just
That
it's that
color's
bright green.
amazing.
And that'll be my second or third bright green sweater. So yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. So
Yeah.
you have a bright green sweater too. What are you working on? What is
When
that?
she was holding that up, I go, God, that looks a lot like mine. So this is the Daily Pullover by Paula Piera. And this is in the Purl Soho linen quill in the colorway Fresh Pickle. Which is like, it really is pretty descriptive of a fresh pickle.
It is.
Yeah, so this is, and it is very much the same color that you have.
close.
Yeah.
So I think the difference though is the weight, right?
Yes,
That's
this is fingering and yours is DK.
Yeah, this is 80% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% hemp.
Yeah, and this has linen.
So the hemp and linen give it pretty much, here you can,
Here, let's hold that up there.
it gives it pretty much the same kind of texture.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is maybe a little more yellow, but yeah, it's really
yeah.
pretty. And so this is, I really haven't done much on this since I cast it on, but I just have to keep going on it. I really want to get this other one finished, and then I can work on this some more. So that's where I am with that.
Somebody asked us to wear all three of them at the same time, and so that would be a really great idea. Mine is dark, it's called deep water, so it's a dark blue-gray.
Mine's
Yours is
blue.
blue, and then yours will be green, so those will be three really good versions,
Yeah, yeah.
different versions of the same glorious sweater.
Yeah, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have to wait until I get finished.
Yeah.
And we all made them with a linen quill as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the good news is it's fingering weight. It'll take you a little while to get it done.
Yeah.
And the weather will be a little bit better. Oh, so we're in. We are coming to you today from Bellbrook, Ohio, and we had a pretty nice snowstorm
Yeah.
this weekend.
And we're supposed to get some tonight.
Tonight again,
Tonight
yeah, a
and
little bit
tomorrow,
after
yeah.
midnight. So another, what are they calling? Like 2 to 4, 2 to 6 inches.
Something like that.
So we'll get a nice, good amount of snow, and it'll be sweater weather.
yeah, it is kind of sweater weather now. Yeah, but yeah, it'll even be more so.
It's kind of funny though because it's like it's supposed to be 38 degrees today. It felt pretty warm outside.
I stepped out a little bit ago, and the snow on the deck above was dripping down. So it was definitely melting, but the sun is shining like crazy.
Yeah,
out there.
I love being
It's
able to see the
beautiful
sun every now and
day.
then.
Yeah, I know.
It's been so gray here.
It's been really gray. Well, apparently it's going to be gray again.
Yeah,
But those are good days for knitting, I think.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love days like that for knitting.
Kicking the fireplace on, getting
Yeah.
all set up. So do you have another whip?
No more whips
Oh, I do.
for me.
Okay, so I have one more. And I'll go ahead and do that and get that out of the way. So I have the Helia, and that one is also by Joanna Ang. So it's just a baby. I think last time, I don't even know if I had done, my britches are coming down, up and down too many times. I don't know if I had done this little tiny gauge swatch, but I did. It's plenty wide. I just didn't make it really tall. I didn't want to waste too much of this glorious yarn. So the way I'm getting those colors is by holding the McMullin Fiber Co fingering. Look at these colors. It's just so subtle. And I'm holding that with Passion Yarns Frozen, and they call this Angora Love. There's no Angora in it though. It is 72% mohair and 28% silk. And that's the colorway Frozen. So both of these came from the Fiber Festival that we went to at Young's Jersey Dairy.
Yes.
3 summers
Too.
ago.
Yeah, because it was before.
Before it was
Before
pre-COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And so these have been in my stash. I did not buy them to go together. And
But they're perfect.
They are perfect together. So you're like, show me. And I am about to show you. So I have a humble beginning. So this is actually the front. She's got the beginning of round right in the front center. I'm not really sure why, but that's where it starts. And there are short rows, of course. And then look at this gorgeousness. So I will have already put the picture up so you'll see that this pattern goes all down the sleeve. and these twisted stitches on either side end up being the raglan increases. This is where, yeah, lots of markers required just to keep all the bits straight, but I have to tell you, it is a very intuitive pattern and it is so good. So now that my drawing sweater's done, I won't feel guilty about picking this up. And you know what?
It's on a size 7?
I'm pretty sure this is a size 7. I can't, it might not be stamped on this one. These are, I'm down to my wooden knit picks.
It's either a 6 or a 7.
I think it's a 7. I think this sweater is also on a size 7. So I'm actually doing the number 2, the size number 2. It's a 41 inch. They recommend a lot of ease with this, but I don't like a lot of ease. I like a couple of inches, and that's what I'm going to get with that. And so there'll be a lot more to come with this in days to come, because
After making that fairy bouquet, I'm like, I'd love to make that too.
yeah.
I know, me too.
Yes.
I look at that and I go, oh,
And
man.
it's so soft. You know, we've talked about different mohairs, and this that I'm wearing right now, not knit picks, the Drops Kid Silk, is, I think, not my favorite mohair. There's something about it, and I mean, it looks gorgeous, and it's like super fluffy. I mean, the halo on this is incredible. But if I get just the teensiest bit warm, man, this stuff does me in. And this mohair is so much softer.
Yeah, it was kind of one. Oh, yeah.
Huge
Oh,
difference. Yeah, huge. And that's not blocked yet, and this has been blocked.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't even know if she continues to make the yarn. I sure hope so, for all your sakes, and
So
for mine, because I'm going to be looking for her again.
Yes, me too, because I used her yarn in
The passion
the
yarns.
home cardigan. I used her mohair.
The passion yarns.
Oh
mohair?
no, I'm sorry, it wasn't passion yarn.
You used
but
McMullin fibers. So the passion yarns
Wow.
is what the mohair is. And these guys, they have a website. It's passionyarns.com. And yeah, I really hope they're there this year,
That's really gorgeous.
because that was, that's soft. I don't know where she gets it, but boy, oh boy, I highly recommend y'all look for it, because it's worth it. If you can find it, I'd grab you some, because we've tried lots and lots of different mohairs. And so, okay, I have a plan and a swatch, and I think Janet's got one. Do you have?
Yes.
You have some stuff, so you want to go?
Sure. Okay, so I have been looking for this pattern for, I know, at least a year, and I kind of get turned off by really high number gauge, and it has a 27 stitch gauge, but it's called the Cartwright Jumper by Jenny Atkinson.
Hey.
And you'll see a picture of it, and I'm in love with it. So what did I do? I don't have fingering weight yarn, so I had to go order a bunch of yarn to make it.
Oh, you poor thing.
Darn it.
You had the yarn shop.
I had to do a yarn shop thing. So this is Cascade 220 fingering, and this is silver. This is lemon. This is charcoal. And this is white. So there's some color work in it, there's slip stitches in it, and it's gonna be nice.
It's going to be beautiful.
But it's gonna take me some time. I did a swatch, and I tried to do my little bit of color work in there to see how that worked with it. And I think it's gonna be perfect. And I think the drape in this is going to be perfect. Because the sweater, I was looking at the sizing, and they want you to have like 6 inches of Positive Ease. And I think I'll do that just because of the way the picture is with the way it drapes. It's like you need to have that much extra space up here. So I think I'm going to do it in this correct size.
In the recommended size.
The recommended size, yes.
Because the correct size is whatever size
Yeah, I decided to
you like to do. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be gorgeous, though.
It is. You will have seen that up on the screen already. So she's got, is it these? These two are the color work, and
No, these. Well, actually, it changes. The first part is color work that these two have, and then there's some.
and then it switches to yellow and dark gray.
No, there's no yellow color work. The yellow's at the top with the slip stitches.
Oh, those are only slip stitches. Oh! Is it bottom up? Oh, I was
thinking
talking
of-
top
yeah.
down, but isn't this what the slip stitches are?
And with
and
the
then
white.
some white. Oh, look at those colors. That is going to be so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that yellow. She wasn't sure about the yellow when it came because it's called lemon, but it looks to me, it looks like the color of spaghetti squash more than it does a lemon. It's more, I don't know, it's more earthy. It's not as bright, as vivid as what I would consider a lemon.
Yeah, that is true. And once again, I'm
Right.
trying to pick the same colors that the designer used because I'm in love with that sweater. So it's going to take me a while to do that one too, but it'll be done by next year.
Well, you know what? It's fingering weight.
I
And you'll be
know.
able to wear that even in a cool evening,
Yes.
I would think.
Yeah.
So, Janet, you have a swatch there. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah.
What is the plan?
So my plan is to make the Selbu Cow by Inga Ski from Knitting Traditions.
That'll
look
be
at
your
her.
first color work.
Yeah, it's my first color work. So I did a little color work swatch.
Oh, look at her.
Which-
She's gonna do the Purl.
The problem is it looks like it's I'm knitting it very tightly, so it's kind of going in on the sides. But this is the gauge that I'm planning on using, and then I just need to loosen up with things a little bit, it looks like. So this is to help me learn how to do color work.
That is going to be gorgeous, though. Look at that.
Those colors are going to be so good.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
Here's the other thing. It's a cowl, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you put that on a 20-inch needle, if you make sure that your needle is as big as your project needs to be, it will help force all that around. And maybe like people do when they do color work socks, you flip it wrong side out. I mean, you're still knitting the same direction, but the color work ends up on the outside and you're knitting
The inside out.
inside out, so it makes the strands just that little bit extra.
Yeah, so it's like this on this. So if I were doing the color work, I'd be knitting it like this. So the color work,
You would just have,
strands
you
are on
literally,
the inside.
you would just be knitting the same way.
and then just
You're still knitting in the same direction. It's just the color
the
work
color.
is towards
Yeah. So
you.
I would be.
So it's on the outside of the bend around the needles
You would
rather than on the inside
be
where it came
like
closer.
this. Here we go. So the color work's on the outside, and this is your knit side. So you're still knitting on this side, but because of the circular, it pulls it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so since this one, I was just going back and forth.
It's so pretty. It's gonna be gorgeous.
So I'm planning on using some of my leftover Sheepish Creations,
Oh, that's a great idea.
which is the Superwash Merino Chainette in DK. And that's in the cream color. And then I'm using some leftover Expression Fiber Arts.
Okay.
And this is part of the Odyssey Hues collection. So there is several skeins in there. but this is the Alpaca Silk Decay. So this is going to be for all the beautiful color in there, and then the background color is going to be this.
That's
so we'll
gorgeous.
Getting ready to get started on that. It's actually pretty fun doing this color work. It's pretty fun when you see the colors starting to pop through and seeing how it makes. I mean, I just did some random color work on this little swatch, but just to try to practice a little bit.
Wow.
So we'll see how that
gorgeous.
We're proud of you.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
That's so good.
Now I have to do socks because you've done the socks and I still have not. So I've got to keep up.
Alrighty, so I also have a swatch, and this is going to be for the Lyrah or Lyrah, Lyrah by Natasha Hornby. And so here is my swatch.
Wow.
I know, isn't that so pretty? It's very squishy. I got exactly gauge. So I used the recommended needle size, and I don't know what's going on at Purl Soho, but they just keep having sales and they keep sucking me in. So I have been looking. I wanted to try some different yarn because, I've done a lot of the linen quill and the good wool, and I wanted to try their Wigeon. It's 100% fine Falkland merino. So these are the colors that I have. This is Eucalyptus Gray. The middle one is Whiskey Brown. And then this third one is Honeysuckle Pink. And so I really love how they go together. I probably could have used, I have a gray yarn here that would have worked just fine, but I kind of wanted them all to be the same yarn so they would have the same amount of stretch. And this is slip stitch, but look at, it stretches.
It has a lot of stretch in it.
Both ways,
Wow.
a lot, yeah. And it's just glorious. And I don't know if you noticed when the pattern picture was up, but usually the ribbing on the bottom, it just continues in the round. But in this case, you're actually picking up stitches at the bottom and knitting around. So the ribbing goes this way instead of up and down. Yeah.
Interesting.
It actually goes this way all the way around. So you're either like knitting two together when you knit back up and grabbing that stitch. It's going to be interesting because I haven't really read the pattern. I was just looking at the picture. So there has to be some either knit two together or SSK when you pick those up, to pull it down in. But that slip stitch pattern is so intuitive, and the entire sweater is done in this. So that's
going to be so fabulous.
I know, right? Isn't that just so
Oh, yes.
What was that
Yes.
one I was
Beautiful.
telling you about? There's one that is... can't think of it right now.
I love this yarn too.
good? Yeah, it's really great. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody talk about Wigeon. And I hope I showed the label clear enough. I'm going to, just in case I didn't, because it's that good. Yeah, this
would
is
love to have
just...
some of this myself.
Yeah, so it's 359 yards to 100 grams, non-superwash. It's made in Italy for Purl Soho. And it says 23 to 25 stitches to 4 inches. And honestly, I can't even remember what, whatever the needle size was that Natasha used is the needle size I swatched with, and I got perfect gauge. It's probably a 7.
Probably.
Probably is.
It probably is. Okay, so do you have more that you need to talk about?
No, I don't.
Okay, I just have a couple then. For that same purchase, I went ahead and I tried yet one more. This one is Santalina. And I ended up getting these 4 colors. What I have in mind, so this is 70% organically grown cotton, 20% rayon from bamboo, and 10% hemp.
Huh.
So the colors are well water.
I hope my well wouldn't have water that color.
I know, right? Robin redbreast, which it's more rusty to me, but I guess that's the color of a robin. Golden pollen, I love that. And then this last one is beige bunny. So my thought is I would like a long sleeved summer-ish sweater. And this is fingering weight. So this is actually, I think it's sport weight. I may have lied. It's 328 yards to 100 grams. So would you call that sport or DK?
How many are?
328.
I'd probably do DK.
Maybe DK,
Oh,
yeah.
I
I mean, it looks really very thin.
It does look thin.
So it looks to me like a sport weight, but okay, so here's my plan. I want to do a striped summer sweater, and I want to do like 4 rows of this, 2 of the blue. 4 rows of this, 2 of the blue. Yeah, get where I'm going? 4 of the gold, 2 of the blue. And do the blue to separate these other colors because I love every single one of them with that blue gray in between, and I just think that'll be really good. So just a thought, just a plan, and I actually think that there might be an Isabel Kramer free pattern out there that's been out for a long time called After the Rain, and I'll have to look to see if I get gauge on that because it's a I'll put it up and you'll see it's a striped pattern, but I don't know what the gauge is, so there's a little more to come. And then one more thing, sorry for the crinkling. Lisa at Fibernymph Dyeworks was having an end of year sale, and I love supporting her. I've got quite a bit of her yarn. I did her backyard birds, yarn club. I want to say it was a couple of years ago. And so I have got some gorgeous self-striping yarn from her, and she is just a master at self-striping yarn. So this one is one of her winter colorways. This is called Moody Holly. It's her heavenly base, and it is superwash merino cashmere nylon, 435 yards to 100 grams. And I think that will become socks, but I'm also looking at the muscle burra hat, and I thought that that would be so much fun to see how that stripes up because it's reds and greens and grays, and it's almost a peachy in some spots, but anyway. And then the other that I got from her this time is the Traveler base, and this is Trick Play. Number 1 or 7. Uh-oh, I can't really read it, Lisa. I'm sorry. Might be my glasses or the font. I think that's a number 1. Anyway, so this came with 2 mini skeins. I got my words. Love this color. I just think this is so gorgeous, and that will make some really great socks. So I don't know if I'll use these for heel toes and cuffs or not, but anyway, then she included a little extra special. So there are some gorgeous stitch markers. Ooh, they're not showing up in the plastic. I'm getting a glare, and these are too pretty to have a glare on. So there they are. Love crystals.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah, so all kinds of beautiful, they're Happy New Year stitch markers. So thank you, Lisa. These are absolutely beautiful. Now that I've shown them, I can start using them, and they look like they'll fit up to probably a 5 or 6 needle. So I have lots of plans here. So, are we thirsty?
Yeah.
I got one acquisition I
Sheila's
wanted
got
to.
one. Sorry, hang
to
in
show
there a
you.
second. We're not going to get to drink just yet.
Yeah. Since I love that Bahramu that I used for the latte sweater, I acquired some more Bahramu. This is called the Winterburn Aran.
That's a pretty color.
And
it is really pretty. It reminds me.
it's in the colorway Muck. So it's really beautiful, and it's with the same 3 sheep. And so I'm loving all these cables that Tammi and Claudia are doing. So I'm looking at maybe making the Widow's Kiss by Thea Coleman with
that would
this.
be perfect with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
That'd be pretty, yeah.
And it'll be a lot softer than mine.
I mean, feel how
Mine
lovely
feels,
that is.
yeah, I used Cascade something in mine, I think. I'll have to look, but it feels like I made it out of rug yarn.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
too
very,
bad.
very rough, but it's okay because it's a nice wide neck. This will be so soft. If this
Yeah.
softens up like your other one, oh,
yeah, you're gonna be happy girl.
so does it.
Does it smell?
Yeah, if you stick your nose in there deep enough, it's got some sheepy smell
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
very
gotta-
fresh. It actually
Yeah.
smells really fresh.
It might be because it was that one's dyed.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
it doesn't have quite the sheepy smell as the cream marl that was just non-dyed.
Muck.
But yeah,
Yeah, it kind of does look a little bit like muck,
yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like a plummy brown, right?
right.
It's pretty. It really.
It is gorgeous, yeah. So what is that turquoise one back there?
Well, this was another thought of. I'm looking at maybe making the Tryon Creek hat by Kay Hopkins. And this would be really good for that. It's the Gloss DK.
It's a pretty color.
Yeah.
Wait and Kanai is the color.
Yeah,
And so that's another one I'm looking at. Starting soon.
Yeah,
Before hat season's over.
yeah.
that's a good idea. And hat season goes on and on and on and on every single winter.
Yes,
That's
it does.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
It'll
does
go with your cow.
Hat. Yeah.
It goes really well with that tonal.
Right.
Yes, that'll
It
be
does.
beautiful.
Wow, that's
Good
really,
job.
that's so soft. Holy moly.
I know.
Did you block it?
Yes.
Very pretty.
That is really soft. Okay, now can we be thirsty?
Yeah.
We'll see you in a minute.
All right.
So today's wine is Delectus from Napa Valley, and it's called French Wedding. It's a Cabernet 2015, and it's on the bold side of the wine spectrum. It's pretty tannic. It's a drier wine, and it's in the middle between soft and acidic.
Oh, that's good. It might be
They
tannic, but you know what?
I don't taste the tannins.
I don't taste them. I think they're because of the age. I think
I don't
they've
feel
sort
them.
of
They've mellowed.
relaxed. Yeah, quite a bit.
It's dry, but it is not dry like many of the others.
This is really good.
Yeah,
Yum,
That's special.
They've got there's some dark fruit in there for sure.
Yeah, it
Lots of it.
describes it as blackberry, dark fruit, and plum. And then oak, vanilla, tobacco, very earthy, little smoke and leather.
Yeah. You can taste the leather on the finish, but man, oh man, is that good. So we need to answer a question. Someone asked if we're married, if we have kids, if we have grandkids, if we have significant others or whatever. So I replied and said that we'll answer that on the next podcast. So we probably should answer now.
Okay, so I'm widowed. I don't have any children, and that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
But she's got a ton of friends.
Yes, I do. I'm very
So
fortunate.
You
that
have
way.
a huge family of
friends, family.
Yes.
Then we're all family, and I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm very, very lucky.
So I'm married, and Rick and I have been married since 1995. We have 6 kids between us, 15 grandkids, and 3 great-grandbabies, and then a couple more extended great-grandbabies. If you know how family is. Sometimes the kids are not married or become unmarried and end up with somebody else, and that somebody else's kids end up having babies that you treat like your own. So
Yeah.
anyway, huge family.
So this is my second marriage, and we've been married for almost 14 years now. And we each have 2 children. We each have 2, so we have 4 altogether, 2 girls and 2 boys. And they're all about the same ages, so it's just kind of nice how it all worked out. And we have 5 grandchildren. And
So
very
sometimes,
nice.
yeah, sometimes you hear us talking about things that we're knitting for other people. With 15 grandkids plus the great grandbabies, I have done some baby blankets, I've done some hats, I've done a lot of little sweaters. But when it comes to the big blankets, like to fit we've got grandsons that are like 6 feet tall, and to make a blanket that's gonna fit them, that's a lot, or sweater. So the bigger ones are gonna get hats and mitts and scarves and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to call us selfish knitters, but we tend to knit more for ourselves than we do others. Although I do have a smattering of things, and Janet's about to start a sweater for Roger.
yes.
So, and Claudia's made hats for friends.
Yes.
And given sweaters away. Your pink fizz.
My pink fizz, yeah. It was just
didn't
too
fit
big.
right.
I wasn't happy with the fit. And so I gave it to my niece, and she's very knit worthy, and it's just so cute on her, and she was so excited to get it too.
Oh, yeah.
Which even made it even more special, and so I have no regrets giving it to her.
No,
I mean,
absolutely
it
not.
was like a lot of work. I hope I haven't asked her how much she wears it, but she won't wear it around wine because she's afraid of spilling it on herself.
You'll have to send her a little packet of soak.
Oh, well, I did give her some.
Did you give her?
I give her
Okay.
some, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. She's living in California now. She was originally living near Cincinnati, and so she and her husband moved to California. They live near Temecula in Menifee Lakes, I think is where they are.
I don't even know. What part is that?
That's sort of between San Diego and LA.
Oh, okay. So central, south,
Yeah.
south central,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they've joined all kinds of wine clubs there
good
because
for them.
Temecula is known for wine too. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So if you have other questions you'd like for us to answer, leave them in the comments because we're always happy to answer your questions. You know, it's if it's too personal, we'll tell you, but otherwise, you know, if it's too personal, we'll make something up. That's a good idea. But again, you know, we'll ask you if you like the content. Please like and subscribe. That helps us get out there and come up on other people's feeds and.
Yes, let your friends know
Yeah,
about us.
tell everybody you know who knits.
Yeah.
So I guess
And
until
keep on doing this.
yeah, until
Yeah.
next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is so good.
Yeah, really is good. That is.